It's almost like I have class right next door.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's nice.
Grisso or?
Yeah, Grisso. I don't have to do any walking between classes.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Some teachers are considered like
Mobile, like
Yeah. Switch classrooms.
yeah, they have to switch classrooms. They don't have their own classroom.
Crazy.
I was like, yeah, if y'all ever do that to me, I'm moving. I'll go ahead and take somewhere else.
I would not.
I'm not doing that every day all day. Taking all my calculators with me
I would
and
not
papers
blame
and Jack, you bored?
Oh my dance course.
No.
Yeah.
Where?
Is that your console? It's fun.
I should have asked. I pushed it too much. I was like, hey, we don't have to quit because I was paranoid. I thought we were quitting. He's like, nope, Hopper's for you. Shot me. Just like I tested the boundaries. Shot
Is
me.
that a doctor's moment? What do we do? Wake up. Are you there?
We didn't do anything.
Disoriented.
I watched a bunch of videos about Algerians and other shit.
Probably. Yeah, I would agree with that. I am not going to do anything. It's nothing, man. I read like 5 paragraphs in 30 minutes.
Exactly what we did.
I think it's the way well, the shoes are right. Both of those people start to be like
This?
Because it's 3 7 absences.
Has anyone happened? No.
Yeah, I do. That's a one door. That's a two door. Keep knowing that live. You're driving, man. Don't. I am.
Yes.
He's even. That's Jacob. That's why we argued at lunch. You said that was a one door.
Yeah, it was one door.
That was just.
No, I wasn't on it.
This is why we argued.
We're both in it.
That's probably what people do.
This has been established.
It's one of the way because like you tell your whatever, right? You it. But out of this class, I just did it on the.
Maybe he'll agree. I don't think so. I tried to. I tried. That wouldn't let me. Because I have 7 absent.
Did you dance?
Huh?
Did you dance with dudes?
I did. I'm not real sure about that.
You just made you got hips like Shakira like me.
Sure.
What?
Where's my car before the bell?
No one. Oh my god.
Well, yeah, but it's touching my sweet.
Yes, I'm blaming that on.
Alright guys, I need you to find your semester exam review, and I have some information to share with you. Most of it's a reminder, but there is one piece of it
That is new that I have not told you yet, so you will want to listen carefully to that. But I need a second to get the rest of attendance in. Crawford, Lucia. Okay, so one of the things I will do here in just a couple minutes after I give some directions is do some checks for semester exam exemption stuff. Even if you checked with like your advisor to see if you were exempt, what y'all need to understand is that the checks that's in this big spreadsheet sent to the teachers is just a part of the checks that the office does. We have to do additional checks. The office doesn't check grades, and of course they don't check to see if you completed your semester exam review. So you're not officially exempt until I give you the okay there. So I will do that in just a minute. I've done most of that already. But if you are exempting, again, I have to see your completed semester exam review. So you should probably get that out. Make sure you're not missing anything, or if you are, start working on it so that you can show it to me completed today and get that verbal confirmation. So I will do that in just a minute, and then of course I will help with any questions that you guys find. You have all of class today. You really should be finished with the review, but even if you're not, you have all of class today, and you will have all of class on Monday to finish the review, maybe make your note card, and of course try to review, study, practice on whatever your weaknesses are. So sounds like a lot of time, but that could be a long process depending on where you're at. Okay, so one reminder that I need to give to you that I've already given to you. It's written on the top of your review, but we do allow a note card on the final. But if you bring in a note card that is not standard 3" by 5", then right before the final exam, I'm going to tell you you can't use it. It has to be standard size. Also, it has to be handwritten, and it has to be one-sided only. So you print it, you won't be able to use it. If you write on the front and the back, you won't be able to use it. In fact, I would suggest just putting a big X on one side so you don't forget that part. If you need a note card, if you don't want to go buy a whole pack of note cards just to have one for this class, you're welcome to one of mine, and I will pass those out here in a few minutes if you need one. Obviously, if you need a bunch, because you want to make flashcards to study for one of your tests or something, I don't have a bunch to share, but you can have one. Second reminder, just like the final exam says, we do allow a calculator on the entire final, so that should impact some of maybe what you need to study. It may impact some of what you need to put on your note card. By the way, your note card, you're welcome to put anything on there that you want to. I would hope you wouldn't feel like you need the unit circle on there, but if it makes you feel safer to put it on there, then you can put it on there. You want to put identities on there, that's fine. You want to put example problems, that's fine. You can put anything on your note card that you'd like to. But we will allow a calculator on the entire final, so that should give some opportunities for some checking of answers that you probably couldn't have done throughout the semester. Lots of the stuff that we do is no calculator, as you guys know. So something to consider as you work through that. Okay, and then the third reminder is in two parts. The third reminder is that the semester exam goes in as a full test grade, 100 points. End of statement, that is separate. Next statement, we do count it as a grade replacement if it's higher. So we would not do a grade replacement to punish you, but if the semester exam, which is a little bit of everything, if you can do better on that than you could do on one specific test, then we can replace that for you. The second half of that, this is the new information that I've not shared with you. To get the grade replacement, you have to look up, and you probably haven't yet, you need to go through Gradebook and determine which assessments you're hoping to replace. While it doesn't sound that bad for me to grade your final exam, put your final exam grade in, see how you did on the Unit 1 test, look at how you did on the Unit 2 test, look at how you did on the Unit 3 test, look at how you did on the Unit 4 test, look at how you did on the 50-point test, think about which one's your lowest, think about if the semester test is higher than that. I can't do that for every one of my students. It's too time consuming. You have to look up in Gradebook and determine which assessment you are hoping to do a grade replacement for. So you could just say the Unit 2 test, I know what you're talking about. You could say the 4.748 test, and I would know what you're talking about. Not preferred, but even if you said the test I made a 76 on, at least I would know which one you wanted, and as soon as I found it, I could replace it. If you don't look that up, and if you don't convey that information to me on your final exam, you don't get the grade replacement. So you need to do that today. In fact, I'd probably put it on the top of your review, so that way if you forget which one it is, on the day of the final, you could pull your review out real quick, look at the top of your page, and you wouldn't have to go research again through Gradebook. So when you take the final exam, next to your name, there'll be a spot for you to tell us which assessment that you want to replace. So I have not told that to you, but you need to have that ready. If you're not willing to do that, then we won't give you the grade replacement. So, okay, so before I move into passing out note cards, if you'd like one, is there any questions about the directions, about how you can use a note card for the final? Any directions about calculator on the final? Any directions about grade replacement? Or when your final exam review would be due? Any just housekeeping type of questions that I can clear up? Okay, so first off then, let me hand out the note cards to people who would like one. Again, in my opinion, I think this should be the very last thing that you do. After you've worked the entire review, you've narrowed down the stuff, this is what I'm still kind of shaky on, or this is what I've forgotten over time. If there's a bunch of stuff, you know to write small. If there's only a couple things, you can write it fairly big and make it more legible. But I would not make up the note card until you felt like you were pretty close to being ready to take the test. Then I will do exemption stuff. So, note cards. Anybody want one? 3. This semester test.
Oh.
So if you make a 90 on the semester test, I can go through one test or one assignment and change it to a 90, if it helps. Other note card people? Okay, also, if you were finished with the semester test review, I suggest you turn it into Google Classroom. The rare chance that you lose it between now and then, you would have to redo it to get those points. So if you turn it in, that won't be an issue. Okay, next up would be exemption stuff. So if you applied for an exemption in this class and you were finished with the review, I can't confirm that you're officially exempt until your review is finished. I can only help 1 or 2 people at a time, but 1 or 2 people at a time come up and I will check that off and give you final yes or no. Okay. Okay, right now yours says denied for ID. I don't know if that means you didn't have your ID sometimes this semester or you had one printed out and you haven't paid the fine. But you got to get that fixed. If it's the fine, you can get it fixed. If it's that you didn't have an ID, if it's that you didn't have an ID multiple times, then you're going to be.
I think it was a fine.
Okay, but until they clear that and update the list, it's going to be a denied, and that's for
Okay.
both of your classes. So.
Okay,
But
thank
this
you.
looks fine.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Jacob, you were denied from advisory attendance. You can't have. I assume this is going to be pretty similar next semester. No more than 4 unexcused absences in advisory.
Okay.
But this looks fine. Yeah. Don't frizzy.
Do you know there's it's just right by Dr.
Okay, anybody else trying to exempt? You guys might want to text Cole and let him know that his has been denied too. But I think he just has to pay for his ID, so he can probably get his fixed.
Okay.
But okay, I got a bunch more people on here that are on the exemption list, so I'm guessing that means you don't have the review finished yet. So as you guys finish the review today, bring it up here. Let me check to see that it's complete. I combine that with the office check, and then you can get final okay that you're exempt. Yeah, even if you turned it in Google Classroom, just let me see it real quick because it's going to be a lot faster than. So this looks fine, and all that's fine. So you're officially exempt. Yep. Okay, you're officially exempt. Looks good.
Thank you. Okay. You're exempt.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One, you need to use in Google Classroom, and two, I need to work with this. Take their points as well. Okay, I think there's a few more people that still are finishing up their review and gonna get their exemption checked. But right now they're busy, so again, anytime this class period, if you have anything from the review you want some help on, I would be happy to help you, but you need to communicate that with me. You can bring it up here or call me over to your desk, either one. Sorry, also, I guess this goes without saying, but just because you are exempt, if you have a B and you have an exemption, you're still welcome to take the final for a chance to get an A. So sometimes students do that. Just because you chose to exempt it and you were approved doesn't mean that you can't come and take it if you decide you want to.